Very schwach today. Okay. As compared with maybe people will come late. Let's hope so. All right. What are middays? What are middays? Oh, here's Sarah. Oh, Hashem. I was worried for you, Sarah. The Torah speaks all the time about middays, seichel, and middays. Seichel is intellect, middays is emotions. What are the word middah really means a measure. A measure. What is the measure of this thing? Well, the measure of your character are the three garments of the soul. When I was in junior high school, we had an English teacher who said he gave us an assignment, gave many assignments, to write a character analysis of the book that we were reading, the story. How do you write a character analysis? Well, you take a look at what do they do? What do they talk about? And if the author lets you into their mind, what do they think about? That becomes the measure of their character. So these are called middos. Middos are the measures. It speaks in Torah everywhere also about good middos. It's a good character. Person who behaves nicely. Bad middos, a person who's bad-tempered, like we learned about in chapter 1, the 4 elements working through the animal soul. If they express themselves, that's called bad middos. So middos is synonymous with character, but it really means the measure, a measure. So we have 7 middos, which are the 7 days of the week. We learn about what they are from the description of the creation with 7 days of the week. And we discussed 2 of these yesterday. The first was when Hashem said, let there be light. We said that's the midah of chesed. The second day of the week, Hashem separated the waters from upper and lower waters. Well, the policeman standing at the stop at the street light, he separates the traffic from those who can go and those who cannot go. They're not allowed to go. That is the midah of gevura. Gevura. So chesed is the quality, the midah that gives. That's the giving midah, chesed, and gevura is the restraining midah. Am I going to spell this right? Restraining. Did I spell it right, Malka?
I can't see, Rabbi.
Really? That's too far away for you?
That's way too far and way too small.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Can anybody else see it?
Yeah.
Did I spell it right?
It looks right.
Okay. So midah, so gevura is a restraining midah. Stop. Where is the stop sign? Okay. Chesed is giving. Gevura is how much? How much does this person deserve? Not 1 penny more. That's gevura. Now we come to the third midah. What happened on the third day of creation, Tuesday? Now it says on the first day, God created the light and he saw it was good. He liked that. On the second day, he separated the waters. He didn't say it was good. Doesn't say on Monday that Hashem saw it was good. Now, here's Serka. Baruch Hashem.
You have a muffin.
So on the third day, Hashem completed the work of separating the waters. And he saw the water, so the waters receded. The lower waters receded, revealing the lands. Until now there was land, but it was under the waters. That revealed the land, that completed the work of Monday, and Hashem saw that it was good. And then what happened? Who remembers? Does anybody remember what happened when the land appeared? Didn't see this in your animated video?
Mist?
Grass started to grow, and bushes and trees, and all kinds of growing things. The earth began to produce. So that was something added, and that was in the manner of giving. The earth was giving forth all of its things, and Hashem said that was good. So Tuesday has this unique characteristic that it's doubly good. Tuesday is doubly good.
I was
Yay.
born on a Tuesday.
Yeah, you were born on a Tuesday.
And the 24th of Tevis.
It's your favorite day.
That's why things are better to do on Tuesday, like getting married, moving house, things like that.
Yeah, it's very good to do things on Tuesday.
Sorry.
And when it says it's doubly good, we say that that's doubly good means to do something that's good for heaven and good for mankind. And this is called Tiferes. Because Tiferes is the blend. Tiferes means beauty. Because beauty blends things together and makes them beautiful. How do you spell beauty?
B-E-A-U-T-Y.
B-E-A-U-T-Y. You are a beauty.
Oh, thanks, Rabbi.
Pleasure. Beauty is something pleasurable. So the blend of good and bad together, blending opposites, making harmony. Harmony. It is the wonderful quality of Tiferes. So Chesed wants to give. Gevurah says not too much. They don't deserve a penny more. And Tiferes says, but maybe there are extenuating circumstances. Maybe we should reconsider. Maybe we should reanalyze this. And when the judge says guilty, so the person on trial says, but judge, I have a wife and family, kids, I have to put them through school. Have mercy. That's also Tiferes. So Chesed gives, Gevurah says if they deserve, Tiferes says even if they don't deserve, maybe we should give them anyway. You understand? And we see this reflected in the creation. That's how we know what these qualities are. And these qualities are in you. When you really want to accomplish something, you say, I want to know Hasidism, a Hasidic thought. I love it. I'm excited by it. I want it. That's your chesed. But then it gets complicated. All kinds of terms and expressions you're not familiar with. You say, I don't know. I don't think this is for me. I'm going to drop out of this. I'm going to leave this. Go. It's too. I'll go maybe to a different class. So then Tiferes kicks in and says, give it another chance. It's good. It's good. It looks difficult, but it's really good. You see, that's how it works in you. With every project you're going to do, the first stage is, I really want to do it. Second stage is, you think you can do it? I don't know. You restrain yourself. Do you know how much, there's a great project for Hanukkah, but do you know do you have the money? Do you have the manpower? Do you have what it takes to do it? That's Gevurah. Maybe I could get somebody else to help me. Together we could get it done. That's Tiferes. I recognize, Tiferes recognizes the limits. Tiferes recognizes the limits and overrides them, finds reasons to override. And it becomes a beautiful project. Not something that a person just jumps in and doesn't know what he's getting into. You understand what you're getting into. And because you understand it, you make it very, very nice. Okay? Those are the first three qualities of any creative process you girls are going to do ever in your life. I want to get married. Oy vey. So many problems. Yeah, but it's worth it. It's Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferes. That's how it works. Bina Badkin. Okay. Today is Wednesday. Got you marked. Okay. Circa. Now, if we continue looking at the 7 days of creation, because these 7 midas, a midah is a measure, these 7 measures repeat themselves. This, what we call the paradigm, the structure repeats itself now on a lower level. So the first day is that Hashem says, let there be light. Let there be light. And the second day is the separation of the waters. What happens on Wednesday, the 4th day? We get the same thing again, only now on a lower level. Does anybody remember what happens on the first Wednesday? What did Hashem do on the first Wednesday? Is this Anna? Yes. I hardly recognize you with a scarf around your head. But you're sitting in the same place and you're sort of blonde, so that's 2 out of 3. Anna, okay. What happens on Wednesday? Well, the first day was let there be light. How do we have light? Turn on the lights. How do we do it? How does Shem turn on the lights?
He spoke it.
He placed in the heavens a sun and the moon. So we have the same thing, only now it's not just the concept of light. It's the sun, the moon, the stars. That's Wednesday. And Thursday, what happens on Thursday? On Thursday, Hashem says we got to separate the waters. You have the lower waters and higher waters. So in the lower waters become teeming with fish. Insects that live in the waters, around the waters. And the higher waters, that's the lower level. And in the higher waters, we have angels. Angels in heaven, heavenly bodies. So you see how the same cycle is repeating itself. And then Friday is the harmony, the beauty, the melding together of all of these qualities. And so we have animals to walk on the land. And finally, last but not least, Mankind. What's the seventh? What's the seventh day? Shabbos. Now we have everything.
Animals and men on the same day.
What was missing in creation? Hashem now made everything, but what was missing was the quality of rest, to withdraw and contemplate and commune with the one who creates everything. And so in your lives, girls, everything you do is going to go through these 7 stages. It's interesting, the time management people who teach you how to manage your life, they give you a 7-step program. Don't always, sometimes give you more steps, but very often you'll see they'll realize these basic 7 steps.
Have you ever read 7 Habits? Or 7 Habits to be a successful person or something?
Yeah, I'm sure if you learn the 7 habits to be a successful person, you'll learn the equal and opposite. 7 foibles, 7 things not to do to be successful. One opposite the other, because you can learn from everything. From every good thing, you can learn the opposite. From every bad thing, you can learn the good. Learn something good.
Rabbi Pape, would you put day numbers next to each of these?
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Shabbos. The 7th is always beloved. Is that good enough?
Yeah, and so on the 4th day, there was mercy.
On the 4th day, we have the repetition. We have Chesed, Gevur, Tiferes, then repeating itself on a lower level. The sun, the moon, the stars, the light, separation of the waters is on Thursday. Fish and birds. I forgot birds. Birds and angels. There's a debate amongst the sages. Were the angels created on the 5th day, or were they created on the 7th, 2nd day, with the upper waters? Some sages say this way, some sages say that way. It's because potential and actuality. But this is the pattern. This is the pattern of life. They say the Chinese have a 21-day week. I don't know how that goes. But so far as we know, the basic pattern of creative activity, so far as I know, is the 7 steps. This is how it goes. Whatever you want to do, you want to write a poem, you want to write a book, you want to make a painting, you want to build a house, you want to study a certain knowledge, you're going to go through all these 7 steps. It's always that's it. That's how people work. That's how the world works. What's missing from this is the intellectual side of it. That's Chabad. So we have Seichel, and we have Midas, and we have 10. Hey, 10. Like the 10 sayings with which Hashem created the whole world. 3 are Seichel, 3 are ideas, and 7 are the actual doing. The doing middays. Now these are the 7 middays. Here you have like the 7 deadly sins. We once went to consult with somebody in advertising. He said the secret of advertising is you appeal to the vices of people, appeal to all their bad qualities, because these are the 7 deadly sins. Greed, lust, and this and that. So the opposite of chesed is lust. We did that in chapter 1.
Rabbi Pape, you said that starting on day 4, the cycle repeats itself on a lower level.
Can't hear you, dear.
I'll be.
Say louder.
You said day 4, the cycle
It's
begins.
like day 2 on a lower level.
Okay, so then how is day 5, day 3 on a lower
Separation of the waters, upper waters, lower waters. Lower waters is fish and birds, and upper waters is angels and birds. Isn't that extraordinary? Only God could have done such a thing. He knew. Who taught him? Did he learn Tanya?
Yeah, thank you, Tanya.
Thank you. That's horrible. You know what that reminds me of? The lynching they did. Those horrible people. When these 2 soldiers, one of them was from Russia living in Israel. They were in Israel. They took a wrong turn. They took a wrong turn and they ended up in Ramallah. So the crowd stopped them and marched them with their police into the police headquarters. And then they killed them. Poor boys, poor boys. They slaughtered them and threw them out the window. And somebody grabbed his leg, tied his leg to a car and drove through the city, dragging him all over till his body was unrecognizable. And then one of the ones who did it came to the window to show everybody that he had blood on his hands. Never saw that? It's probably on YouTube even. Horrible. Horrible, horrible people. Yeah. Okay, so these are the 7 middas. For those of you who came late, a middah, the word actually means measure. The 7 middas are the measure of our character. They are the source of everything that we do. You don't do anything because of Chabad. But Chabad supervises and approves and gives the stamp of approval, the go-ahead, gives it the green light. But when you step on the pedal and make the car go, that's the middas. Middas are the source of what you do, what you say, what you think. Now, what you say, of course, is formulated in your brains before you say it. You don't say anything that you didn't think about first. Even things that you say without thinking. How could that be? Because you thought about it before. You go down a path that's already well known to you. So a slip of the tongue is usually very revealing. Little jokes that people make, they're not such jokes. They're things they really think. Or they told the joke before and people laughed and they want to hear them laugh again. So they say something. Sometimes people say something that's really stupid and they don't even mean it. But because they got a laugh from it one time, they say it again. Then if they think about what they say or somebody contradicts them, then they say, oh gosh, why did I say that anyway? I wish I'd kept my mouth shut. Ever happened to you? No. Did happen to you.
I heard it, yeah.
Okay, so these are the 7 middas, and we put them together with the 3 aspects of intellect. We have 10. This is the DNA of creation, the overall DNA of creation, because, and why is the DNA of creation, Malka? Because Hashem creates the world with these 10 sayings. What do you have 10 about you? You have 10 fingers, 10 toes. And when he gives the Torah on 2 tablets, 5 and 5. And 2 people put 5 and 5 together as a sign of peace. When they had Olympics here for people with severe physical disabilities, they had an Olympics. Soldiers from the Israeli army who'd been wounded, they came here brought them to America to cheer them up. And they had audience with the Rebbe. This was the first time the Rebbe came downstairs. Rebbe always gave Yechidus private interviews in his room. But now there were so many people, he couldn't handle them all in his room, and many of them were in wheelchairs. And the Rebbe came downstairs. All the Bochum were sent out of 770. Of course, they went up into the Weiber Shul, but they were not allowed in 770. And the Rebbe went down to speak to them. And he said to them, you are called in the world, oh, what was the word? Disabled. I forget the English word for it. But he said, that's the wrong word. Oh, you're called Petsuyim. You're called wounded. Wounded. You're not wounded. You're not handicapped. You're excellent. Because Hashem is not a tyrant. I hope you're listening. This is very, very important, very beautiful concept that the Rebbe expressed to them. Is that Hashem is not a tyrant. He doesn't test a person, doesn't give a person a challenge without giving him the strength to overcome it. So since you have all been challenged, that means you have special strengths, all of you. So I think you should not be called handicapped. You should be called excellent. Mitsuyanim. That's Hebrew for excellent. Mitsuyan. You should be called Mitsuyanim. Similarly, the Rebbe said a hospital should not be called a hospital, should be called a house of healing. It was so positive. Everything he always brings out the positive way of looking at everything. And then he went around and he shook hands with every single one of them. You have no concept what that did for them. They were so broken. They felt like their life had been, just destroyed. What could they do? How could they be useful? How could they lead a normal life? They were depressed. Many of them were very depressed. And here the Rebbe took the trouble to meet with all of them. And he shook hands. We went around and shook hands with every single one of them. And one of them, he didn't have an arm. He lost his arm. He had a plastic thing. So he gave the Rebbe his left hand. The Rebbe said, no, give me your right hand. He says, but it's not my hand. It's your right hand. And the Rebbe shook his plastic arm because it was his right hand. Okay, so we have 10 qualities here. And these 10 qualities, since they exist in God, in Hashem, they take a physical, so we say, a physio-spiritual reality in God itself, because God is not physical. So these qualities have to exist in God, but before they exist in God, there's only God. So they are like emanations within God himself before creation takes place. You following me? We discussed this since the first day. What was before everything? Before everything, there's only God. Now we want to create a world. We're going to do it in 10 stages. We have to create these 10 stages within godliness itself. And they have to achieve some kind of reality in godliness. And we call those stages sephiros. Sephiros. The word sephira means something glowing, something beautiful, like a gemstone is a sapphire. The 10 Commandments were given on stones of sapphire. What do you think they should be given on? Lead? Wood? Have to be given on the most durable, everlasting, valuable substance there is. It's called Even Sapir. And Sephira also means counting. Like we count Sephira from Pesach to Shavuos. Days, they're called days of light. Because spheres emanate light. So once we have these spheres in Hashem, then we can have these spheres coming out actually in created worlds. So, but the first created world is one with God. That's the world of Atzilus, like we learned. And the highest level of these 10 levels is Chachma. That's where infinite touches the potential to create. Let me say that again. Listen carefully. Remember the whiteboard? I'm going to make a little version of the whiteboard here. Okay, here's the whiteboard. There's only white here. There's nothing. It's just, okay, this is a symbol. This whiteness here is a symbol of God. God now wants to create a world, so he has to start at a certain point. There's the point of beginning. That point at which the infinite touches the possibility of creation is still in God, but that point is called Chachma. Chachma is the beginning. So that when we have in the Torah, the book of Genesis, Genesis means creation in English, right? Genesis means creation.
Wait, Rabbi Pape, does this have a connection to the 7 Mida, or are we switching topics? We were just talking for a moment about the 7 Mida.
Yeah, well, as earlier in the chapter 3, you see, it says that there are 3 intellectual aspects and 7 midas. 3 intellects are Chachma Bina Das, and the 7 days of creation make 10. So the first point where the infinite touches the possibility for a creation, that's the point of Chachma. That's the first letter of the Aleph base, which is a Yud, which is just a dot. We make it with a thorn going up and a thorn going down, because the dot the Bav tells me that it's coming from an infinite source, and the thorn going down tells me that from this is going to come out a whole world. It's going to develop and develop and develop and develop and develop. But that's the first. Every letter in the Hebrew Aleph base begins with this dot. Like I want to make a hay, so I'm going to take this dot and I'm going to extend it, give it width, and then give it depth, so I get a hay. So now I have a dot, a yud, and a hay. And that's the first letter. That's the first name of God. And now I want to bring it down to a lower level. So I'm going to do it again. I'll start with the dot and extend it down. I have a vav. Yud Kei Vav. Another name of God. And then I'm going to repeat, just like I repeat here, 3 midas. I repeat them again. So I'm going to repeat this again. I have the hay, bring the hay down. Start again with the dot and extend it. Bring it down. So I have Yud Kei Vav Kei, the name of God. We don't pronounce. We say Kadne. Adeshem. Say Adeshem. So this dot is the beginning of everything. And if we look in the book of Genesis, so we say in the beginning, if we look into the translation, the book of the Torah was translated by a Roman convert. He was the nephew of the emperor of Rome. His name was Onkelos. Famous story of Onkelos. Onkelos translated the Torah into Aramaic, which was the spoken language of the time, like Brooklynese today. So when he translated the phrase "in the beginning," which is in Hebrew, that's Bereshis. He translated as Be, means in, right? Be, Hach, Me, Sa, B'chachmasa. With the word Chachma. In other words, in the beginning means in Hashem's Chachma. The whole of creation was there. And the kids in Holy Torah make a joke. They say, how do you know that Hashem loves baseball? Mm-hmm. Because he starts the Torah in the big inning. Okay, have a good day,
You
everybody.
should put a joke section in here. I could be your joke contributor.